is an attorney, a former U.S. Army captain, and we think a reliable voice on questions of foreign policy. It's great to see you tonight.
Hey, it's great to be back, Tucker.
Put this in context for us. What does this mean for the United States? Were you impressed by the operation itself?
Yeah, absolutely. Killing Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was a victory for the United States, and it was a great day for all Americans, whether on the left, the right, or the center.
Right.
But instead, some in the media and the left, although I repeat myself, seem to be incapable of viewing any issue outside the prism of what is good for Donald Trump is bad and what is bad for Donald Trump is good. And so immediately after this story broke, you saw a cascade of attempts to either downplay the significance of the mission or to find a negative angle from which to spin it. So John Harwood from CNBC, for example, compared killing Baghdadi to killing an ant. CNN this morning had a story on their homepage called "How Does Killing Baghdadi Affect the Impeachment Inquiry?" And of course, we talked about...
They actually had that?
No, I'm not even kidding. On the front page. And of course, you have Max Boot, who takes the cake as he normally does with stupidity and decided to defend Baghdadi from the charges of being a coward. And let's take a
stand up for the manly virtues of Baghdadi.
Right. And let's take a step back here. Baghdadi ran down a tunnel with 3 children as human shields, and he got to the end of the tunnel, and he was cornered, and then he blew himself up, and the children with him.
Right.
That's not anything other than cowardice. But yet, we go back to this prism of what's good for Donald Trump is bad, and what's bad for Donald Trump is good to many on the left. And you follow that to its logical conclusion, and there you have Max Boot somehow defending the leader of ISIS, which, if you find yourself defending the leader of ISIS, you should take a long walk, take the fedora off, look in the mirror, and, you know,
when you find yourself hating Trump more than you love America, very quick, give us since you've served, give us the perspective of the guys who did this. Like, what must they think of this?
I don't want to speak for them in particular, but what I can tell you is that anytime that you take a major player like Baghdadi off the battlefield, anytime you have a major success like that, it's huge for morale, and it sends a message that no matter where you are, the United States is going to come hunt you down and bring you to justice. And they did that, and they deserve all the credit in the world.
Even if you're underground in northern Syria. James Hassan, great to see you tonight. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Well, Joe Biden's presidential campaign, and we're not trying to be mean here, is struggling, having the endorsement of America's most popular Democrat. Seems like it would be a boost, but according to Biden, he doesn't even want the endorsement. Watch this.
Why hasn't President Obama endorsed you? You guys served together for 8 years.
Because I want to earn this on my own.
Did he offer to endorse you?
No, we didn't even get there. I asked him not to. He said, okay. I think it's better. I think he thinks it's better for me.
Yeah, he thinks it's better. I asked him not to endorse me. Well, Joe Biden's presidential campaign is already the saddest thing that's ever happened in American politics, but somehow he's working hard to make it even sadder. Richard Goodstein is an attorney and former advisor to Bill and Hillary Clinton. He joins us tonight. So, Richard, if we could just dispense with this sad psychodrama here. Do you think it's plausible that the former vice president called Barack Obama and said, please don't endorse me?
Well, he said that back in April when he announced, look, let's keep this in perspective. Ronald Reagan, as you know, did not endorse George H.W. Bush until May of 1988, after it was clear he was going to be the nominee.
Was that because Bush asked him not to?
When Dwight Eisenhower was asked, tell me about Richard Nixon's accomplishments when he was running as the vice president to succeed Eisenhower, as you know, Eisenhower famously said, give me a week and I'll see if I can think of one. In contrast, Barack Obama, like that, could give you a whole list of everything that Joe Biden has done.
Barack Obama has contempt for Joe Biden because for demographic reasons. He had contempt for him in the White House. Ask anyone around Biden. He was badly treated by the Obama people. No one ever talked about it, but that's real. Ask around. My question is not why is he not endorsing. My question is why is Biden telling us that he asked Obama not to endorse him when that's so obviously not true?
Well, I don't accept the premise. Look, I think that bromance was real. Look at all those pictures of the hugs, the fact that their kids and grandchildren had sleepovers together. This was a real friendship. I would defy you to show one picture of Donald Trump and Mike Pence in that same
well, let me just say, because I actually know this, some of the family's members were close to each other. That is absolutely true. But Biden himself was treated like a factotum by a lot of the Obama people. That's also true. But here's the point. Why is I'm not going to force you to answer the question you're not going to answer. He's lying to us.
No.
It's sad. The whole campaign is sad. He's not going to be the nominee. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for basically moderate Democrats? Right. The Biden thing's not working for you. What happens? Are you really going to support Elizabeth Warren?
Again, Pardon me, but Joe Biden wants to win from the grassroots up, not the top down. Yeah. And if Obama did endorse him and somebody else won, then that person's like, oh, like, you know, Obama's second choice.
Look,
right?
By the way, I live in this country. I'm not for some crazy person getting the Democratic nomination.
Right.
I'm not attacking Joe Biden. I feel sad that the whole thing's imploding. Right. But what are you going to do when it does implode?
And I think it's amazing that Joe Biden, with all this Ukraine stuff and the attacks on his son, has actually held up as well as he did. And I would point out that of the last 10 Democratic contested nominations, the person in first in the polls in December won a grand total of 3 times. Howard Dean was first. John Kerry was 6th in December of 2003. And 5 weeks later, Kerry had the nomination locked up. So I think we just don't know. Could Cory Booker win? He might.
If Cory Booker wins, we all have to leave the country. So don't even say things like that. You know that's true. But let me just ask you, if Biden doesn't get it, and I'm not rooting against Biden, I'm not being mean here. I just honestly don't think he's gonna. But if he doesn't, where does that leave non-crazy, non-socialist Democrats? Are they really going to support Elizabeth Warren? That's a sincere question.
And I'm saying, I think we just don't know if that happens, if Biden somehow falls away. And I think against the odds, he hasn't. But if he does, I don't know whether there's going to be a coalescing around an Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, Michael Bennet, whom I'm actually supporting. It's possible. Again, given the history, we just don't know. And I think any Democrats out there who's watching, who supports somebody who's a non-socialist, keep supporting them, because you just don't know how things are going to break.
Okay. Well, look, I've never root for anything having to do with the Democratic Party because I think it's corrupt. But I am rooting for America, and I want, if there's going to be a Democratic nominee, I want it to be the most reasonable person it can be.
Of course. Let's hope.
Richard, thank you.
Sure.
Record numbers of Americans say they're open to implementing socialism in America. Young people mostly. Why? Well, the main part of the reason is because our college system exploits and destroys young people. It's an existential threat to this country. The student loan crisis is at the heart of it, and we'll explain it after the break. Have you started a free trial of Fox Nation yet? You ought to. It's available right now.